Hello and welcome back to my channel, and this week to a new weekly vlog. So as I said in my last video, every week in September I'm doing a different readathon because there's so many that I want to do and just like not enough time. So this week I decided I'm going to be doing scientific September, I think it's called. So it's basically a readathon reading science related books or science fiction, and you have the option of doing either like all science fiction, a combo of both, which I think is what I'm going to probably aim to do. And there are a list of prompts. As I'm going through and selecting books, I'm going to see how many of them I can check off, and I'm hoping to get through quite a few of the prompts. But I'm most excited about this because I love science fiction. It's one of my favorite genres, and having a week entirely devoted to sci-fi feels like the best thing in the world. So my TBR for this week is really not set at all. I know actually I'm just gonna go grab some of the books that I'm thinking of. So, as always, it's a huge pile, but these are almost entirely all sci-fi. There is one science one, which is now at the bottom, so that will be the last one I bring up, but I do think this is going to be a very, almost entirely only sci-fi focused week, which I'm okay with. So, a few of the options, I'm not really going to go into the descriptions of them right now, but some of the options for this week. Wool by Hugh Howey. This, I think, is really popular. Planetfall by Emma Newman. Morning Star by Pierce Brown. Book 3 in the Red Rising series, and desperately want to read this one so I can keep going on the series. Then Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. So this is book 2 in the Expanse series. Again, I want to go forward in it. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This has been on my TBR for like a very concerning amount of time, so I think it's time for me to get to it. And then the one science book is The Gene by Siddhartha Mukherjee. I definitely have other sci-fi, or definitely have other science books if I dived into it that I could read, but I'm going to set myself this one to focus on first because it is a pretty big one, and I think that this is going to be one of those books where I read like 100 pages a day or something and just slowly get through it, and I think that's probably going to be like more than enough for 1 week. So yeah, that's my huge gigantic possible TBR for the week, and I have no idea what I'm going to start first. Maybe this one could be, it's also one of the shorter ones, so it's still 400 pages, but who knows, maybe I like starting with a shorter book, so then I really feel that like motivation to keep going, and I feel like really like I've accomplished something already. So I don't know what I'm starting with. Okay, I just had a few packages come in that I thought I'd share because who doesn't love an unboxing time? So the big ones, I have 2 Illumicrate books, which are both like the monthly subscription. So there's the Desaad Air, which I thought this package was lost. Turns out it just went to my old address, and the new owner of the house just delivered it. So I'm excited to have this one because this is definitely a book that I'm feeling could be really good, and I love these bright edges. So for the inside, so this is just the artwork on the inside as well, and then it's just like a pretty naked hardback. And then I also have the August Illumicrate book. This one just came in as well, and it is Guardians of Dawn Zara. Pretty edges. This one's like very small. And okay, inside artwork. Oh, this is cool. That looks very anime-esque. So it says the maiden who is loved by death. This really is giving anime vibes. That's so cool. So that one, a lot of people online have been saying that it's not great and that it reads very, very young, and there's been like a lot of inconsistency errors in it. So I'm not really feeling confident about how I'll feel about that one. And now that I have these, I think I'm just about ready to start on my next like edition of reading Illumicrate books video. So I think I should. I think it's time, because I really doing this experiment where I'm reading as my Illumicrate books in every 3 months. I'm doing a video just kind of talking about what I think about them and just kind of seeing if the subscription's worth it. And Illumicrate's one where I'm realizing very much that I don't think it actually is anymore, because I'm really not enjoying many of the books that are coming in. Like the majority of them are 2 or 3 star, and I think in the past year I've had 1 4-star, and that's it. So I'm considering getting rid of Illumicrate at the end of this year. And then I have a few other things that came in. So I already took away the box, so it's just in this, but I got NPR 4 new lip liners by Jones Road Beauty. These, I believe they came out September 9th, so when you guys are seeing this, they've been out for a bit. But I looked at the shades and they're just like really nice nudie pink shades. So yeah, just like this kind of thing. And then it's a normal pencil liner. So there will be videos up on Instagram, which it's at _the_lipsticklife, and there'll be a few videos up of me swatching and trying these out if you're interested. I also did a Sephora order this week because I have no self-control. So what did I get? The thing that I was most excited to get is the Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette by Danessa Myricks. She is somebody who basically anything her brand comes out with, I need to try it. And there's a few things that I still haven't bought because like I'm not as big of a foundation person. I don't get excited about it. So I haven't tried those, but every new like thing that she comes out with, I need to try it. And so this is the outer side, and then here we go. So it is a neutral lovers kind of dream. And there's a pomade and a powder in all of these different shades, and it's supposed to be for face, eyes, and lips. Face, eyes, brows, and lips. So I'm super excited to give this a try because that sounds super interesting, and I really want to see how versatile I can make it. Like which of these shades would work for contouring, which ones would work for my brows, like how all of these shades would look on my lips, that type of thing. So I think I am going to give this a try today. I might film a video of it and have it up on my other channel, but I'm really excited to give this a try. And if you'd asked me a year ago, I would have told you that I hated neutrals and they were the worst thing ever, but something in my mind has shifted in the last year and I absolutely love them. So this I'm so excited for. And yeah, that was the big purchase. And then also the thing that kind of helped me spur it on is that they had this offer where it's like you spend $40 and you get a free fragrance sample kit. And if you know me, you know that like fragrance is my thing. And I am obsessed with these little fragrance samples just because I love trying every new one. And did I need these? No, I have so many fragrances already, and I have, well, so many samples. And then I have this like huge list of everything that I want to buy, which is concerning how many fragrances are on that list. So I didn't need to try more of them, but like I wanted this. So there's Juliet Has a Gun, Lust for Sun, Prada Ocean. I think I've tried this and hated it. Daisy by Marc Jacobs, pretty good classic. Paco Rabanne Fame. I know I have other samples of this, I just can't remember if I actually like it or not. Carolina Herrera, Good Girl. I think I like this. Valentina Born in Roma, Yellow Dream. Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I think this is more of like a masculine scent, so I guess I'll go to my boyfriend. Gucci Flora. I have this, I know I like it. Ooh, the Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods. Absolutely love this one. I love vanilla scents, and this is like, I think my favorite one that I've tried. Nest Wild Poppy. This one's like so. I sort of like it. It's nothing that special for me though. Clean Reserve Skin. This is one of my favorite fragrances. I love it. I love this. I wear it constantly to work because it's such a light and very like intimate scent, just because you don't smell it that far away. And then there's like the classic Chloe Eau de Parfum, which I really like this one too. Like it's a classic for a reason. So I'm super happy to get those. And then I also chose, why not? My free sample is Flower Bomb by Victor Roth, another one I love, and just haven't committed to buying a full size yet because it's expensive. And I was really excited for this free sample too. It's Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and I've never tried it. I do have similar products to it, but I've never actually tried the original. So I'm excited to see what I think of it. And yeah, that was my Sephora haul for the week.
Alexa's dreaming now, drifting off my couch. We walked down street she's walked 1,000 times at the AM.
So I'm extremely excited excited. I don't know if I mentioned it in this week's video or last week's, but I went to this like new small bookstore close to my office, and they had this option for like a subscription box every month where it's basically $60. You get 1 or 2 books, so either 1 book and some merch items in the store, or 2 books. And I immediately signed up because I'm addicted to subscription boxes, so of course I had to. And my order came in yesterday, and I'm so incredibly excited about it. So when I was going through like my preferences for what to get, I said that I wanted like primarily either indie romance, less well-known like sci-fi or fantasy, or new fantasy or sci-fi releases. So I'm really excited to see what I got, and yeah, I'm just so excited about this. I'm hoping that this is going to be like one of my new ways to find lesser known books, and just I'm really hoping that these recommendations are going to be fun. So here is my bag. If you're in Ottawa, it's called The Spaniel's Tale, and this is it's in Hintonburg. My bag's already ripped to hell, but let's take a look at what books I got in here. So first one. Oh, okay. This is Monsters Born and Made. I have never heard of this one, and let's read the description because I've never heard of this one. So it says 16-year-old Coral and her brother Emmerich risk their lives to capture the monstrous meristakes that live on the Black Seas around their island. They have to, or else their family will starve. In an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts, the ruling elite have indentured her family to provide the meristakes for the glory race, a deadly chariot tournament reserved for the upper class. The winning contender receives gold and glory. The others, if they're lucky, survive. When they fail to capture a meristake for this year's race, her family can't afford medicine for Coral's chronically ill little sister. Coral decides her only choice is to do what no one in the world has ever dared, cheat her way into the glory race. But Coral must race against contenders who have trained their whole lives and have no intention of letting a low-caste girl steal their glory. And when riots break out, Coral has to do more than win the race. She'll have to stop the whole island from burning. So this is an epic South Asian-inspired fantasy that will leave you breathless until the very last page. Okay, cool. I have not heard about this at all, so that's exciting. And then there's a second book in here, which is The Water Outlaws. So I've been seeing this one around Instagram quite a bit, so that is very exciting that this one came in, and I believe it's a new release as well. So let's look at the description of this one also. Ling Chong is an expert arms instructor, training the Emperor's soldiers in sword and truncheon, battle axe and spear, lace and crossbow. Unlike bolder friends who flirt with challenging the unequal hierarchies and values of the imperial society, she believes in keeping her head down and doing her job, until a powerful man with a vendetta rips that carefully built life away. Disgraced, tattooed as a criminal, and on the run from an imperial marshal who will stop at nothing to see her dead, Ling Chong is recruited by the bandits of Ling Xiong, mounted outlaws on the margins of society. The bandits proclaim a belief in justice for women, for the downtrodden, for progressive thinkers. A corrupt empire would imprison or destroy. There are also murderers, thieves, smugglers, and cutthroats. Apart, they love like demons and fight like tigers. Together, they could bring down an empire. Okay, so that sounds pretty interesting. I have been seeing quite a few people talk about this online, and I'm gonna have to double check that this isn't something that I'm getting in a subscription box, because for some reason I feel like this could be one that we're getting in a fairy loot or something. So what else? There's a few other things in here. So there's just 2 stickers. So they say, I love reading books, and I'll just add this to my TBR. There is a bookmark just from the store, and it just has the store info here. Oh, and then there's a little note actually. So this said, thanks for subscribing to our bookseller box. For you, I've picked 2 new fantasies, two new fantasies. I love The Water Outlaws, and it was so much fun. And Monsters Born and Made looks like the same. For fans of the Hunger Games, which I saw you loved. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, cool. I'm very excited about that. So a little book holiday is always, my favorite thing. And I'm just putting these stickers away. I don't really have that much reading updates. I've read a little bit, but I'm doing really, really poorly this week. I haven't really been able to concentrate on anything, and I kind of have a lot going on. This week I started French training, which has taken up a lot of like mental energy, and we have people over this weekend. We're hosting a housewarming party, so also that's been taking up so much mental energy. So I feel like I haven't been able to really focus on reading, and especially because I'm reading sci-fi this week, it's like, I think it's just really what I'm not in the mood for, but I have done a little bit. So I don't know where my copy is, but I've read the first like 30 pages of Morningstar by Pierce Brown, which is book 3 in the Red Rising series. I know I'm gonna love this series, or this book. I know I'm gonna love it because I love this series. It's a lot. Like, the first few chapters were very emotionally a lot already. Like, I can't say much about the plot because it would be a major spoiler for the rest of the series, but the first few chapters were already a lot emotionally and very like heavy to read as well. So that wasn't quite as much. That's been slow going because I feel like I'm not quite in the mindset for it. But the other book I've been listening to on audio is The Deep Sky, and this is really good. This is really, really good so far. It's like a sci-fi thriller, which I love. I always love anything with like a thriller aspect to it, and especially sci-fi, because I find it just adds that extra little like gripping quality to the world. But we're following, so there's this big group of women who are on this space exploration trip basically to inhabit this new planet that's been discovered. And it's this crew of entirely women because the goal is that they would basically spend the first 10 years of their journey in stasis. Then they'd spend 10 years awake, where all of them would be implanted with embryos. They would have children. They would raise them on board. They would raise them all on board as a community, and then the last 10 years they'd go back into stasis, because that way the worst part of like rearing children would be done by the time they get to the planet, and they would have like twice the population to be able to get there and really get their new community going on this world. And so we're following this one woman, Asuka, who is part of the crew, obviously, but she witnesses this like explosion that ends up killing the captain, and it seems like it was planted there by somebody who's trying to destroy the mission. So she gets involved in this investigation to try and figure out like who caused the explosion. And there also seems to be other things that are maybe going wrong with this mission, maybe a bit of other sabotage that's happening, and they're really trying to figure out, is it somebody who's currently on board, or was this something that happened before they left Earth? And that's basically where I'm at so far, but it is incredibly interesting so far. And I love these space exploration stories. I love the stories where it's like you're stuck on a like spaceship or some kind of thing, and you're going like on this journey with the people, but you're really like isolated in this area. And I think it's pretty fun so far. I'll definitely be listening to more of that today because I have quite a bit of cleaning to do. Yay. But unfortunately, I think that's probably going to be all I'll really be able to get to today, maybe tomorrow too. I don't really have a lot of free time this weekend, but I'm going to primarily focus on just trying to listen to this audiobook, and then whenever I have a bit of time in between doing things, I'll try to read a little bit of Morningstar here and there, but I don't anticipate having that done like anytime soon, unfortunately. So it's really going to be like Monday and Tuesday are going to be very heavy reading days for me, and we'll see how much I can actually get accomplished.
Under palm tree lights.
You know, it's like really a Monday when you look this rough, and I'm just realizing how terrible my hair is right now. So I did end up getting it cut on Friday, and I kind of hate it. I kind of really hate it. It's definitely so much better when I've actually like washed it and styled it, but I'm not loving the length. I'm not loving the style. I think it's time for me to start growing out my hair again, because whenever it's short, I find it just looks incredibly greasy like all the time. So I'm gonna grow out my hair. Also, I have no eyebrows. But anyway, so it's Monday. I didn't update all weekend because we had a lot going on. My partner's cousin stayed with us all weekend. Then we hosted a housewarming party on Saturday, and that was incredibly fun. That was like best case scenario, one of the best parties we've hosted. It was so chill, so fun, so many of our friends here, and just like so little stress, which is exactly what I wanted. But yeah, so didn't update a lot Friday, didn't update Saturday because of that, because we were just doing that all day. And it was one of those where we live a bit further away from most of our friends, so we wanted to set the party earlier in the day because several of our friends live far away, several of them have children who they'd be bringing, and so we set set the party to start at 4, and then before that, a few members of my partner's family came to our house for about 1, and we had like coffee and cake and just hung out for a while. Then party started at 4, so it was kind of a crazy day Saturday, and I just feel very drained today. Today it's hitting me that I had such a crazy busy day, and just how much socializing I did all day. It's kind of really hitting me today, and I'm feeling really drained, really like batteries completely empty. So today's been very relaxed. What's going on? What have I read? Not a lot, not really a lot. I'm I think 20-ish% into Morningstar, so I didn't really read too much more of that. I am loving it and just taking my time with it. And then I did also start, what is it? Children of Ruin? I think that's the name of this one, by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So this is I guess the sequel. I think the first one was Children of Time, and it's this really intense sci-fi story about like terraforming planets, the future of the human race, the evolution of other species, and how humanity will come to coexist with them. And that's like an incredibly broad scope of what happens in that first book. It's just very much about humanity trying to find a new place on Earth, a new place in the universe after Earth is kind of no longer an option for them. The first book, unbelievably good. Like I don't think ever read a sci-fi quite like that one, and it was truly a masterpiece. So now I'm on to book 2, and I'm loving it. It's really going in a different direction than I was anticipating, and that's fantastic, because at the end of book 1 it felt like such a self-contained story, and it really felt like it could have just ended there. It could have been a standalone, and it didn't necessarily need to go any further than that. So I'm just incredibly happy to see where this one's going, and I'm so excited. So I think I'm 20-ish% into that one as well. It's a very good read, but it's very dense, and I find a lot of his books are that way too, where they are fantastic. They're just very slow reads because the writing style is very I'm just gonna say dense again, very dense. And there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of science, a lot of information that you're always being bombarded with. And it ends up making the story so much better because you have all of this scientific information to really explain what's happening. But it's also a lot sometimes to really wrap your mind around, especially if you're a bit tired. It's very hard to stay focused on. So yeah, I'm loving it. I am hoping I'll finish it this week. It's definitely one that I need to finish because my library holds is finishing up soon. So we're gonna hope for that, but I'm loving it. Fantastic. And I've listened to 70-ish% of The Deep Sky, which again, amazing. It's just like a great thriller set in space and wonderful. Another space exploration one, another like self-contained story on a spaceship, but there are flashback scenes on Earth to give you like more context about this mission and the characters as they were children and stuff. Loving it. It's a great new science fiction release. So those are some of my updates for this week. Today's Monday, as I said earlier, but what am I doing? I'm done work for the day, and basically the plan for the rest of the day is marathon read a bit more. I have a weekly vlog to edit tonight to go up later tonight as well, which you'll see. It was the series September weekly vlog, so that has to go up tonight. And if it is nice out, we're anticipating rain, so I'm not really sure. If it's nice out, I'm gonna walk to Zumba later. Honestly, if it's pouring rain, I'm just not gonna bother, but that is the plan for tonight. I'm hoping to get a bunch of reading done because I have a lot to catch up on, and I'll check in later. We are very much going to be going on like a bit of a hair journey for the next little bit while I figure out like what actually works for my hair, because basically right now I just hate everything that I'm doing to it. So I have some Olaplex products and I haven't used them in ages, so I'm going to start giving them a try and see again what I feel. So I'm gonna give these a try and see if they actually do anything for my hair. So first off, you start with number 0 and you apply it to like damp hair and leave that on for 10 minutes. And then you put the number 3, you apply, it says a generous amount from scalp till ends, and leave on for a minimum 10 minutes longer. So what I think I'm gonna do is put this on, wait 10 minutes, put this on, and then probably leave it on for the rest of the night until I'm done with the gym. So I'm going in like an hour or so to do a good workout, and I think that's probably a good idea. Just leave it in my hair and then you wash it out. And I have number 9, which this is a nourishing hair serum. So what do you do with this one? Apply a small amount to damp, towel dried hair, working upwards from ends to roots. Air dry for soft texture, blow dry for a smooth finish. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a try. I've never tried number 9. I think I got this in an Ipsy bag recently, so I'll give that a try. And I've used these before with mixed feelings. Honestly, I think my biggest issue is always that I felt like there was a little bit of like product always left in my hair, but I do have a much better shampoo that I'm using right now. So I'm hoping that that will make a pretty significant difference and like actually get everything out. Because yeah, it always just felt like there was like product left in my hair and it never looked fantastic. So let's see what we can do. Wednesday. Okay, I got a big Nespresso order in. We've been like running out of all of our coffees, so thankfully finally just got that in. But I'm super excited. The pumpkin spice cake just came out again this year, so cannot wait to use that. And yeah, I'm fully into pumpkin spice mode. All my fall decorations are starting to come out and I'm so happy. So like, yeah, I need my pumpkin spice cake coffee also. I also have a library haul. Oh, by the way, I'm using one of my new Jones Road Beauty lip liners. I can't remember what this shade is. I think it's like a nude something, but I love it. I think this is such a gorgeous lip liner, and yeah, love the formula, love the look of it. I'm so ridiculously happy. And I decided not to film an Ipsy unboxing, but I am wearing this eyeshadow quad that I got in my BoxyCharm PR, and it's beautiful. I forget what brand it is, but I really like how it looks. This is just like the most ridiculously easy makeup look, and I really wasn't feeling anything else. So library haul. Okay, I got way too many books as always, but it's okay. Maybe we'll see. I have too much to read and not enough time, and I'm getting a little stressed, but it's okay. We're good. Some of these I want to do. I think I mentioned before a video of reading 7 thrillers in 7 days, which I'm just about ready to start. I have all the books I want to read now. I have a few books to do a horror vlog, and I think that's it. Then I also have like so many other things to read for other things. So let's dive into this library haul. So first off, Doppelganger by Naomi Klein. Why do I think this is a sci-fi? So it's, what if you woke up one morning and found you'd acquired another self, a double who was almost you, yet you not at all? What if that double shared many of your preoccupations, but in a very twisted, upside down way, furthered the causes you devoted your life to fighting against? Okay, this feels like it could kind of be a sci-fi one, so cool. Definitely gonna get to this soon. The Bandit Queens. This is a thriller, something mystery. Tagline is, she didn't kill her husband, but why not let everyone believe she did? Okay, cool. This could go for my thriller video. Sundial by Catriona Ward. She wrote The Last House on Needless Street, which one of my favorite books, one of my favorite horrors that I've read in a while. Like that one I had absolutely no fucking clue what was happening, and one of the perspectives was from a cat, which, you know, best thing ever. Loved it. Just like that wild wackiness. Great. I love when horror just kind of goes off the rails and is so weird. So I'm kind of hoping that this will be that same vibe. I Will Find You by Harlan Coben. This is a new 2023 release. Never read any book by him before. I've heard he's very hit or miss, kind of like dad books almost. So we don't know. We don't know how this is gonna go. We don't know how I'm gonna feel, but this is gonna be my thriller vlog. How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. A lot of people are saying this one is kind of trash, maybe hot garbage, who knows? But perhaps not as good as his other stuff, a little, who knows? I'm excited. I like Grady Hendrix. I think his books are very, how would we say, very like campy. I find his books are very campy, give very like 80s horror vibes, and I always end up really enjoying them. So I'm excited to read this. This is absolutely gonna be one of my upcoming fall reads. A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downing. Everybody's giving this one terrible reviews, but I've loved the other books I read by her, so we'll see. It's also a new release, so I like to keep up with these. We know this. There's more. There's so much more. I got so many books. Then we have Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Marina Garcia. I love her books. I really love her books. She's written so many that I loved, which Mexican Gothic was fantastic. And I read last year The Daughter of Dr. Moreau, also fantastic. So this is, I believe, a horror about the film industry in 90s Mexico City. Amazing. I love that the 90s are now considered like historical fiction. We love this. That's great. I can't wait to read this one. Gone Tonight by Sarah Buchanan. Okay, so she is one of the co-authors of a few different books. The one that is saying here is The Life Between Us. I've read all of, I think it's Greer Hendricks and Sarah Buchanan. They've wrote a bunch of books. I've read all of them. Every one of them's just been like a very fun time. So I'm excited to see what she wrote on her own. Yeah, they're all just like very fun thrillers. And then the last one, Sure, I'll Join Your Cult by Maria Bamford. So this is a memoir of mental illness and the quest to belong anywhere. Haven't read a lot of nonfiction lately, so cool. There we go. Those are my books that I got from the library, and yes, it's a lot, but we're doing good. We're doing fine. We're gonna do a few reading updates, then we're gonna check out of the vlog, I guess, because I want to get this week done and start on a new one. And yeah, we have lots to talk about still. So I finished reading The Deep Sky. I forget the author's name, but this was fantastic. It was like a really thrilling space adventure story. Really got into the politics of this world where there's like so many environmental issues, so many different like political factions that are all fighting. There's this huge political conspiracy about getting the spaceship out into the world, and the fact that all of the people selected were basically from countries that paid to create this space station. And because of all the money that these countries poured in, basically their countries are like bankrupt at this point. And you hear like as the mission's going on, things are going terrible on Earth because there's all these disasters and people can't pay for it and things are just falling apart. But this was fantastic. This was so good. It was such a fun, thrilling story. I loved it. I love the characters. I love their dynamics. I love the world. I just loved this like space station. The mystery itself, it kind of got a little weird. It went a little off the rails in the sense that I don't think I fully understand what happened, just because it ended up going a very, very different way than I was expecting, which isn't bad. I felt like it was a little convoluted at the end and not necessarily in the best way, but I still love this. I thought this was fantastic. I'm giving it a 4-star. It was wonderful. And what else have I read? Okay, Morning Star. I'm 40-ish% in. I can't remember where I was the last time I updated, but I'm still plugging along. I'm still deeply enjoying it. You know, I'm just taking my time with it because it is quite a dense book. A lot of really intense stuff's happening. A lot of really like emotional, heart-wrenching shit is already going down, but I am loving it. And it's funny, I had several friends who I was talking to about this series this weekend, and a few people who've already finished the next bit of the series, and we're really talking about how much better they find the next the second story arc gets. So I am very, very excited to keep going. Like that just really motivated me to keep wanting to go forward and just got me even more excited about it. So we're slowly plugging along. I think, how many books? There's this 1, 2, 3 more after this, I think. Dark Age, Iron Gold, and I think Lightbringer. So what is it now? September. So if I do one a month, I'll be caught up by the end of the year. So I can do that. I can do that for sure. That's a good goal. I think that's a decent goal. Like considering I'm looking how big Dark Age and Iron Gold are, I think one a month is a very good goal. So anyways, yeah, loving it. I'm gonna keep reading on it. And what else did I read? Oh, I finished Children of Ruin by Adrian Tchaikovsky, which I think last time when we checked in, I was only like 20% in, but I really powered down last night and read all of it, so the first book was imaginative, transformative, like one of the most unique science fiction stories I've ever read. If you don't know, one of my degrees is in evolutionary biology, so a huge emphasis of this book was on the evolution of a species and seeing a species, which in this case was actually spiders, grow from like where they are right now, which is just an insect who's really like just getting by in the human world, to the point where they are the most intelligent species on their planet, and just following this entire like span of them starting off like very unintelligent, very, you know, just getting by, to them developing a whole culture, a whole like intense like political system, like a very strong like social system, their arts, like all of these things, their like scientific discoveries, their like belief in gods and everything. It was so cool. It was so cool to see this like potential journey from like a simple organism to the dominant species on a planet, and not even dominant, but like the most intelligent species on a planet, and in a sense like in very comparable intelligence levels to humans, or possibly greater than. And seeing this whole journey, because this took place over thousands of years possibly, and we would like do a check-in every few hundred years. It was so good and somehow managed to be so insanely captivating. So yeah, that was the first book, which one of the best sci-fi books I've ever read, and such a strong 5-star. So coming from that, I found that Children of Room was just a little disappointing. It had a lot of very similar tropes, where in the first book it was dealing more with spiders. This one was more with like octopi or octopuses. I don't know how you say it, but it was okay. It was okay. I just didn't really hear as much about it because I guess we'd already seen this journey, and there was a few things that were done differently. Like we didn't really get into the social lives as much of the mollusks and as much into their society, which maybe that's what was missing for me. Like weirdly, maybe that's the part that didn't click quite as well for me, but just something about this didn't work quite as well for me, unfortunately. It was still very fascinating, and I do again love seeing the evolution of a species, all of that. It just, something did not quite click, and I'm still gonna give it a 4-star. It just was not quite there, unfortunately, and I feel really terrible saying that because I really wish that I loved this one more, but it was still really good. It just wasn't quite as book one. So those are actually all the reading updates that I have, and we are going to be checking out a vlog now. But I'm gonna say also, I had such a fantastic time doing this scientific September readathon this week, and I had so much fun, so much fun with it, that I've decided I'm gonna do another week of it. I am throwing out all of the plans that I had for the rest of the month and just mixing everything around, because originally I was gonna do a readathon each week, but you know what, we're mixing it up, and I'm gonna be doing another week of scientific September because like I have this to read. I see like 10 other books on my shelf right now that I just really want to get to, and I am in such a sci-fi mode right now. I think it takes so little for me to get like diving headfirst into the sci-fi world, and it's all I want to do right now. So yeah, we are doing scientific September again next week, and I hope you guys are gonna check into that. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.